Good afternoon. Welcome back to St. Mary, Missouri. We are about an hour and 15 minutes down Interstate 55 from St. Louis. This was the area, southeast Missouri and across the river in Illinois, where most of the tornadoes touched down. They're not confirmed yet, but they will be confirmed as the Weather Service from St. Louis, which, by the way, they did a bang-up job yesterday. It was very busy. The Storm Prediction Center, our friends in Norman, put out the watch nice and early, mid-afternoon, and that went till 10 o'clock. The tornadoes went through this part of Missouri between about 9 and 9:30 last night, warned with plenty of advance notice, so all the families in these three homes behind me were in the basements. In this house alone, the Fish family, they had Mr. and Mrs. Fish, the parents. The wife is expecting one child and their dog. They never found the dog when they left the house after the tornado, but the emergency responders who came in later, I was told about 2 a.m., found the dog, Zoe, and it's in the shelter. They're going to pick that up today. And we've talked to the other homeowners, and they all were in the basements, and they came out fine, and there are no scratches to report. That's the best news of all. They've got the blue tarp up on the house down there. That's the Beckett house, and the power crews have gotten the poles back up, and now they're working on the lines and the transformers. So a lot of progress here in this neighborhood in St. Mary. It's a very small town, just under 700 people south of St. Louis. So, Molly, good news all around. Great work from the Weather Service in St. Louis. Hats off to them for getting these warnings out. It saved a lot of lives for those of us who also at the Weather Channel working last night, and then for the first responders and for the homeowners who heard the warnings and did the right thing and got down in their basements. Fortunately, they all had underground basements, and everybody is fine today.
Well, and hats off too, Mike, to the people that were prepared to take some quick action when they had warnings in their area. It looks like it really paid off. Well, thank you, Mike.
We want to take you to St. Mary, Missouri right now, where we find our meteorologist, Mike Seidel, live. And, Mike, this was one of those situations where they had ample warning, and people heeded those warnings and went to safety, didn't they?
Everything was letter perfect. The Storm Prediction Center put out the watch mid-afternoon. The watch went till 10 p.m. Central, and the tornadoes hit here between about 9 and 9:30 in southeast Missouri. So it was on the tail end of the watch. So there's plenty of lead time on the watch, and the Weather Service out of St. Louis did a remarkable job. Excellent work by the guys and gals there at the Weather Service Forecast Office at STL, because they got the warnings out early. We talked to basically all the homeowners here, and they got the warning, and they went to their basements. All these homes behind me have underground basements, so they did the right thing. We talked to one family, 3 kids, husband and wife, and they got into the basement under a big mattress, and they said it was, over with just. They said the sound of the train that you hear lasted maybe 10 seconds, and then that was it. That's how fast these storms were moving yesterday. And if you look down the street, we've got the power crews back, and they've got the pole. The one pole that came down is already back up. They've straightened the other poles. Now they're working on the transformers and the actual lines. So they're going to get this power back up. Maybe not today, but certainly by tomorrow for the homes that still have their, power connected to the house. Some of these homes, they're going to have to restring the power. Also, we just talked to the gas company. They came out at 4 a.m. this morning to take care of the propane gas and get that turned off for these homes. Now, this home in particular, the family did get to the basement. The mom and dad, and the mom is expecting. They have one child. They have a dog named Zoe. They couldn't find the dog after the tornado, but emergency responders found the dog early this morning in the middle of the night, and they've got that at the shelter. They went on Facebook and found out that their dog Zoe is fine, or they're going to hopefully pick up the dog this afternoon. So lots of good news all around. Not a scratch on anybody on this street here in St. Mary. This is a town of about 700, about an hour and 15-minute drive down I-55 from St. Louis. So rather rural, small town America. And the other major hit in this area was across the street. This is the Antique Mall over here. The entire roof from the mall is gone, and they also had the the water coming in. And this is not a situation where you can cover this with a tarp, unlike a home, which has a lot less square feet by far. So, Molly, just a real good story here. Despite the damage and everything can be replaced, they have insurance. The fact that everybody went to the basement, they heeded the warnings, And that's the way you do it. They're all okay. They came out, as I've been saying all day, without even a scratch.
Well, Mike, I know you were watching from St. Louis last night, and we were watching here at the Weather Channel. Some of the signatures that we saw on radar really just made your stomach drop. So it's amazing that no injuries and no fatalities. Thank goodness. Thank you, Mike.
Good afternoon from St. Mary, Missouri. I'm meteorologist Mike Seidel. We're following up on the tornadoes from last night. Now, not confirmed, but we just saw that the National Weather Service has arrived here. We're about an hour and 15 minutes down Interstate 55 south of St. Louis, and all the tornadoes by far southeast Missouri and then across the river, just across the Mississippi and Illinois. And the damage, you can see, it's rather significant. Nothing flattened. This house lost part of its roof. That house lost its roof. And then the third house, the Beckett family, they're getting the tarp up there to keep any additional rainwater. We're expecting more rain in here later tomorrow night and Wednesday. So by the middle of the week, it's going to rain again. But look at the piled debris. They had the garage here, and that got blown down. And they were in here earlier, the Fish family. And again, every family here got into the basement. The watch was out well ahead of when the tornadoes hit here, which is around 9:30 last night. In fact, the watch went from, I believe, about 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. So it was the tail end of the watch. There was another watch over in Illinois, areas to the east and downstream. So everybody's fine, not a scratch. We also have this huge antique mall, and I just talked to some of the folks that have booths over there, some of the dealers. There's over 600 dealers in this antique mall. Now, the roof, part of it blew off, part of it collapsed. The pipes burst inside, so there's a lot of water. So they're wondering, the nice couple I talked to, wondering how much of their inventory and their booths is going to be able to be sold again, or even if they can even get to it, Molly. That's the case right now. So that's a whole different story over there. But Molly, again, no scratches. That's what we like to hear, and all this can be rebuilt.
It's so scary when storms like that come in under the cover of night, but glad that daylight is revealing no injuries and no fatalities. Thank you, Mike.
We want to take you now to St. Mary, Missouri, where we find our Mike Seidel. He's been talking with residents who are very busy with cleanup and making sure everyone in their community is okay and safe.
We're in St. Mary, Missouri, a little over an hour south of St. Louis, and very likely a tornado rolled through here yesterday about 9:30 p.m. Already power crews getting the pole back up here on the street, luckily the only pole. But damage is pretty widespread in this small area, and Brandon Beckett was home with his mom and dad and two siblings in the house behind me. And tell me what happened when the warning went off.
We all went to our basement. About 20 minutes after the warnings were going off, then power went out, and it sounded like a train was on top of us, and our ears started popping. Then, next thing you know, we waited about 5 minutes. Me and my dad, we immediately came up here to make sure everything was okay. We seen, everything over here, so we immediately came to this house, made sure everybody was okay. I ran down them steps, and I was banging on that basement door, and I was, saying, hey, you guys down here? And yeah, they were okay. And I knew this lady over here, she was pregnant.
That's the second house.
Yep. And I ran over there, and I jumped through a window that was broken and a hole in the wall. I was in their living room, and I opened the door to their basement, and I was, screaming, hey, you guys okay? Hey, you guys okay? They were there, they were okay. And they were like, it's okay to come out now? I said, yeah, it's okay. And I helped them get up and everything.
Well, good job. So your family, no scratches, and both of the other families, too, no injuries at all.
Okay, yeah.
That's great. Do they have a basement here?
Yeah, they have a basement.
And they were in the basement?
Yep.
So everybody was in their basements, did the right thing. Okay. Brandon, we're happy that you're okay, and nice job checking in on your neighbors and friends.
Thank you.
And good luck with the cleanup. Everything will get back. His family does have insurance. In fact, the adjuster's here right now, and really the best news of all is nobody was injured on this street here in St. Mary. At least a dozen preliminary tornado reports last night. Weather Service will take a look at the damage, but out here at least EF-2 damage in St. Mary. We're in St. Louis, near St. Louis, about an hour down Interstate 55. I'm meteorologist Mike Seidel, the Weather Channel.
Town hit hard last night was St. Mary, Missouri. Meteorologist Mike Seidel is there where people are cleaning up.
Tornadoes touched down Sunday evening in southeast Missouri and across the river in Illinois. We're in St. Mary, a small town about an hour south of St. Louis, and already power crews out here getting this pole back up. That's the only one they've got to get up, fortunately. Behind me, the damage. The antique mall has lost its entire roof, and then you've got the water damage. A couple of homes hit pretty hard. I'm looking at this and thinking at least EF-2 damage. Weather Service will get a survey team out here from St. Louis and take a look at it today. Meanwhile, one family rode out the tornado in its basement. Emily Beckett, her husband, and 3 kids.
Yes.
Tell me what happened last night as the storm approached.
Well, we were just aware, you know, we knew it was coming, watching TV, and just following it, you know, tracking the way it was going. So when the sirens went off, I knew it was time. You know, we all immediately ran downstairs and we all got covers, kind of bunkered down next to the concrete. And then all of a sudden the power went out. You know, I got really calm and I knew it was about to come. The power went out. Immediately your ears just sucked in and we covered ourselves with a mattress, held the kids, and it lasted for maybe 5 to 10 seconds, you know, and it sounded like a train. Yeah, a lot of rumbling.
That's what they always say.
Yeah.
Why don't we take a walk around the house?
Okay.
The house is in pretty good shape, but you've lost a lot of shingles.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to put a tarp up.
Yeah.
Notice the Halloween skeleton survived.
Yeah, the skeleton survived.
Watch out for nails. That's one thing you always have to worry about with the aftermath is the nails.
Right.
Your Japanese maple looks pretty good.
It's still holding up.
Yeah, let's go around back and show everybody what you ended up getting damage-wise. Looks like your insurance adjuster's already here.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
It is, definitely.
Get your power on, get your house rebuilt.
Yeah.
And everybody's okay, no scratches.
Yeah, you know what? As long as we came out of it alive, that's all that matters.
Okay, so you've got this tree that came down into the back.
Yeah.
What is inside the house?
That is my kitchen.
That's your kitchen?
That's my kitchen, and it went straight through. We have a lot of water damage from damage to the top of the roof, obviously. It's broken a lot of windows. Our shed was right here. It completely picked it up.
Where did it end up?
It's over there.
Is that the shed that's on the other side of the house?
Yes.
With the lawnmower and everything?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Force of the wind.
Yeah, and then our whole yard, it goes all the way straight back. So all these trees are ours. And it just took them all.
Yeah, they're all sheared off.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you're okay. That's
Thank
the
you.
important thing. You've got insurance, you've got things rebuilt.
Yes.
And you told me your husband took the food out of the freezer this morning.
Yeah.
Try to find another freezer.
Yeah. Just trying to keep some of that meat that we have. So, you know, just step by step, you know, we'll rebuild and we'll make it. We're alive, and that's all that matters.
Yes. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so
Emily
much.
Beckett and her family in the basement. They did the right thing, an underground basement, and they survived without a scratch. I'm Weather Channel meteorologist Mike Seidel in St. Mary, Missouri.